Well, it's good to be in out of the wind from Match. Sorry about the quality of the audio on that last little piece. I'm still new to videography and video editing, so I only learn when I get back to the office just what the outcome is of these, but hopefully they'll get better over time, and I think they seem to be improving. You haven't seen the ones that didn't get published, so you wouldn't know that. But anyway, I want to finish up the conversation about Match and then give you some closing thoughts. What I was trying to say when we were out at the site there was that there already was a drainage channel existing that supported the school, and in my opinion didn't need to be modified. Because the district just doesn't choose to fight these things as a developer would, or as other school districts do throughout the country. You know, they basically redeveloped this drainage channel, which was functioning just fine, hadn't had any bad experiences with it or any problems of flooding. So they took something that the district had already paid for, built infrastructure that already existed, and they completely redid it and enlarged it. And because the piece that it flows into and the piece that flows into it are both smaller, you know what we're actually doing is we're actually constructing a regional detention pond with school building funds. And I don't want to go into what a regional detention pond does because it's not part of this process that we're talking about here of wasting school bond funds. But it's important to understand that there's a regional flood control authority and it has funding, and you would expect that if a existing drainage channel that had been approved and permitted and had been in place for many years needed to be redeveloped, that they would be the ones to fund it and not the school district. If, for instance, we had a shopping mall owner decide to go in and completely remodel the mall, but he didn't increase the square footage of the stores and didn't increase the square footage of the impervious cover, which is all the paving, significantly, then the developer more than likely would get off without having to do this. And so the district has built this monster out there, which actually takes away a little bit from the play area the kids have, although I don't know if it's significant. It's a pretty big play area, and losing 10 feet or whatever they lost off it probably isn't going to affect playtime any. But nevertheless, it's a detriment. And but the most frustrating thing to me about it is that $500,000 roughly has gone into it, and then when I've worked on this school and others, the district will remove things that are of educational value for children, and also just some things that will make the school a little bit nicer so that you don't feel like you're going to a windowless prison. I hate to say windowless prison, because just because they look like windowless prisons, we shouldn't really refer to them as windowless child prisons, just because that's what the district designed and planned and continues to support. So we don't have that $500,000 to do something to benefit education with. And then talking about all the other utilities that they built, water lines, that were 36-inch water main to support a school that would easily work off of one less than 1/3 that size, and paying for the infrastructure for cable to come out to the school and telephone and all that. If we were driving hard bargain for our tax dollar as though the money wasn't easy come, easy go, I think we would just tell the cable companies or the phone company or whoever wants to provide service, hey, here's the deal, bring a line out and then we'll buy service. If you don't, then we're going to bid it. We'll just bid some permanent provider, And much as the airport is done with all the billboards, we'll bid the installation of the infrastructure, and then after the period of the contract is over, we'll own the infrastructure. And then if somebody wants to connect to it, they can pay us. But more than likely, we'll just prefer to own it outright, and nobody will connect to it. In other areas of the country, when they build a school, they just announce, hey, we're building a school on this block, and after in 2 years, the school is going to be ready. And so, water utility, you need to have water to it. Road building entity, if you don't have a road to it, we're just going to drive up the dirt way here and drive to the school till you get one built, because when the parents see that their school buses and their cars are driving through the dirt to get to school every day, there'll be enough public outcry to get it going, and that would only have to happen a couple of times before the local road building entity would at least do a paved drive up to the school, no matter how incredibly stupid the school planning people were in buying land out in the middle of nowhere, which, I think that there's some credibility in asserting that their excuse is, incompetence or stupidity or bad planning or whatever,